Hey everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner. Today I thought we'd take a little peek inside a prepper's garden. So today I thought I would take you around the garden a little bit. We don't have one of those perfect gardens where everything's in one place and everything is perfectly beautiful. Ours is, definitely a work in progress. We're always adding on to it, doing different things with it, trying different things because, one way is not the only way to do it. And we have tilled up the ground and planted it in the ground, but we never really had great success with that because our land is really like a sand pit. So, there's just enough loam on top to grow grass, and some spots it won't even grow that. So our garden although it's not perfect, it's perfect for us. We're always updating it, changing it around, getting things in there. We want to make sure that we're growing as much food as we can, although it doesn't have to be gigantic. In a small area, you can really grow a lot of food. Even I have heard people growing all of their food for a family of 4 on a 1/4 acre. And we do not do that, but we grow as much as we can and do the best that we can. And we're just getting started because we're way up in Maine and, random crazy frosts happened in the spring. Luckily, we didn't have anything that was up and got destroyed, but we did get a really strange frost last week that actually killed a lot of the leaves on the trees, which was weird. But anyway, let's jump in and see. I'm going to show you around the garden and just show you where we're at, what's going on right now. It is the middle of May, around the 21st, I think, 22nd. So we're just going to do a little walk around. I'll show you where we're at, let you know what's planted there. We can see what's up and what's not. So we put this section of beds in this kind of horseshoe shaped sort of thing in last year, and it did really well for us. This year I've got green beans planted in this whole container, and over here we've got peas, and we just use a piece of cut off cattle panel for the peas to grow up. And down here we've got just a couple of bamboo sticks you can get at the garden store and a piece of scrap wood we cut off because I didn't have enough sticks for these peas to climb up. So that will be great. And then we did have spinach in this bed. I planted it. It came up wonderful. And that weird frost, that's the only thing it killed. But it was only about maybe an inch tall. And it was just starting to get the second set of leaves. So not really a big deal. We just replanted that today. And then I've got a few onions in here, and the bigger onions are just volunteers from last year, because when we get volunteers, I let them go. They want to live, I'm going to let them. And then a couple more volunteers here and more green beans in this bed. These were just planted a couple days ago, the green beans, so they are not up yet. And then over here in the beds that I built on a video a couple days ago, we were planting onions. And I'm not sure that you can see, but they're starting to get their green little tops. It only takes a couple of days, and they really are doing quite well. I'm very happy about that. So this whole first bed is all onions. And then this next bed has a little bit of, this first half has some zucchini and yellow squash in it. And then the other half of the bed is onions as well. And this other bed is zucchini and squash also. And this is another bed that we just put in yesterday with some scrap wood, same way I built the other ones. And this is about 15 feet long and about 2 feet wide. And this is just for peas. And I've got a little bit of celery in the front of the beds as well. So this just got planted yesterday, so they're not up yet, but the other peas are doing great, and I know this will work out wonderfully for them. And over here, I've got a mess. Got the chicken wire out. We're going to be putting in some potato towers. later this week, and we're going to be putting those together. So I've got it planned out where I want them. I just got to get to work doing it. And right behind those beds, we have got a couple of beehives set up. This is where bees are, and they are just happily buzzing around today. This is definitely not the pretty section of the garden, but rain barrels, some soil, a big tub to mix in, some pots. This is where we pot up things, where, grab some chicken manure or whatever from the chicken pen. They have the most beautiful black dirt in there. So we kind of mix everything together over here. So we have pots ready to go when we want to start planting again. And this is another section where we have some beds, and these have definitely seen better days, but they're just natural wood. They are not pressure treated at all, and they're just spruce wood, and we've had these for over 10 years and they are still functioning. So down here we've got a couple rows of kale, and they're just popping up, so that is great. Happy about that. And then we have a good section for cucumbers and some celery down there. And then the top section of this is all lettuce. And you can see this is all starting to pop right up. That's been in for probably about 6 or 7 days, the lettuce. So happy that is in there. And these beds out here are much larger. They're 4 by 16, so they hold a lot more. These onions went in a little bit before, probably a week before the other onions. So they are coming up really nice. And again, we have a bunch of volunteers in here. So I always love volunteers, definitely. And then I planted a bunch of carrots in here. Nothing is up yet. Those are probably close to a week. They should be popping up soon. And then a little bit of winter squash down here in with the other volunteer onions. And this is a really young orchard that we're working on. We've got blueberries over here and off to the side. There's more of them. Some of our older blueberries, and cherry trees, pear tree, apple trees, peach, and another pear tree. So we're very happy about that. We got a couple peaches last year. We're hoping to get some pears this year, and apples, we hope. Maybe some cherries. Num num. And of course, we've got herbs. We've got a little bit of dandelion over here. Those pop up wherever they want, and they are wonderful. And also these are comfrey, and we've got those down the side of the garage. So we've always got nice, fresh comfrey, so we have it for medicinal purposes. And of course, we have to have a few flowers in there because they're just pretty, and we like that. These are elderberry cuttings. We are rooting these in the pots. We've got a few little green stems, some leaves coming on right there, which is great. And we picked these up off Etsy. And I'll put a link for those down below. These seem to be really good. They are taking root, and we're getting some nice little green spots on all of them where they are growing. And I've only had these in this soil for about 7 or 8 days. They're fairly new. And then this is the herb garden, and it's kind of all over the place. There's all kinds of stuff in here. We've got a little bit of rosemary, some chamomile, rhubarb. There's some pretty pink flowers. I have no idea what they are. Back there is a big, huge patch of oregano. That is a wonderful one to grow. And let's see, we've got a bunch of daisies mixed in there. More chamomile, horseradish. Horseradish is so good for you and so yummy. And this kind of just grows out on its own. And there's chamomile mixed in here, and flowers, and over there we've got a thyme and some chives and more rhubarb, all sorts of stuff. Just kind of let it do its thing. A little bit of bee balm over here. And then over back here, we've got more oregano in the pot, a big, huge rose bush here, and some white violets. And violets are completely edible, which I love. You can make jelly with them, and they have a nice floral taste. And the chicks and hens, they just keep growing and growing and growing all over the place. And I have a basket of mint back there. It doesn't look the best at the moment because it didn't like the frost the other day, but I'm pretty sure you can't kill that stuff. I've been trying for years. And then I've got 2 beds in here. These are all green beans as well, both of those beds, and a volunteer onion and some parsley back there. Hopefully those come up soon. My white sage plant has seen better days, but it looks like it's trying, so we're gonna let it. And columbine and some purple flowers, a few different things. And this is a common sage. This is wonderful for cooking and all sorts of stuff. And there's just all kinds of thyme and oregano and flowers, some more chives, some more chamomile. There is a little bit of lavender in here, which has definitely seen better days as well. But it's coming. It's definitely coming. It's getting nice and green. And we've got some more rosemary over here and just a whole bunch of stuff. Just keeps growing. So I thought I would just give you a little walk around of some of our gardens. What we've got done so far, we still have around 50 pots that are empty. So we will be working on those over the next couple of weeks and get those planted. Lots of, we'll be putting tomatoes and peppers and all that stuff in still. We can't really get it outside yet. Where the tomatoes and peppers we grow inside a greenhouse because it doesn't get quite warm enough here for them. So that greenhouse really helps heat it up, and the peppers love that heat. So we are definitely still just getting started for the season, but we've got a little bit going on. It's getting there. It takes time. Nothing's instant, but I just want to encourage you guys to grow as much as you can, whether it's raised beds, pots, containers, whatever you have. I mean, the rest of our stuff is going to be going in containers and pots and grow bags and things like that. So we have quite a few of those, and we've been collecting them for a long time. And get what you can from people that don't want them anymore. We have asked friends and family, and they are always happy to give away those old pots. And they work perfectly for growing food in. And that's it. Grow some food, grow some teas, grow some medicine, a little bit of everything, and it will help you definitely, and you'll be more prepared. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.